Well, you are a thinker, and you are articulate, and you are guiding a lot of people a lot of time. And so what you are coming to realize is that your point of attraction, it's different when you're communicating to someone else than when you are attracting for yourself. Can you feel the distinction? Let's back up just a little bit and let's think about the concept of presenting myself to the field of attraction. Once that is your primary awareness, then thoughts come to you. You become the receiver of the thought. And there's a big difference between being the receiver of the thought and the thinker of the thought. And of course you are the receiver of the thought and therefore you are the thinker of the thought. But how is it that you are summoning the thought? Through your desire, through your question, through your asking, through your giving. But as I present myself to the field of attraction by caring how I feel, then as you do that more and more, you do it a lot, then you're tuned in and then the words are inspired rather than thought up. Most of your words are inspired, but you don't know that. You keep thinking you're thinking them up. You keep thinking you're thinking them up because they're coming out of your mouth, so you think you're thinking them up. But you know how you can tell whether you're thinking them up or whether they're inspired? Well, if you're thinking them up, often they are a little more snarky or a little more controlling or a little more commanding. Where if they're inspired, they are always coming from your source energy point of view, where you are taking whoever it is that you're speaking to, you are seeing them in a perfect place. You're going to like this, where you are in no way evoking justification from them. You don't make them defensive. You can tell by what comes back to you. If your words are inspired, they never evoke defensiveness. Ever. Ooh, this is such a good conversation. So just take a breath, everyone, and let's think about your interpersonal relationships with other people. And let's think about you presenting yourself to the field of attraction, but everybody else is too. And hardly anybody is doing it deliberately. So people are just showing up. They're just showing up and they've got a bag of marbles that represents what's going on with them. And then the law of attraction is mixing the marbles. And then people are noticing the results of the mixture of the marbles, but nobody feels in control. So everybody feels a little more commanding, a little more demanding, a little more like I need to be more in charge, and or a little more defensive. Where you can rise above all of that by just being more deliberate about how you show up, what your bag of marbles, the thoughts that are active within you now, how they feel to you as you think them. You contribute a lot just by being here, you know. You have life experience that has brought you to this crescendo of now. Do you know what we mean? All that you've lived equals not just the you sitting here in your bodies on these chairs, but the vibrational you that has culminated as a result of the life that you have been living. And through your exposure, your observation, your participation, your intending, you have accomplished, that's the best word Esther can find, you have accomplished a point of attraction that moves around a little bit. It depends on what's going on, what you're focused on, really. But you have a point of attraction that is so important and so unique and so powerful. And the law of attraction is responding to it in every moment. And so what you attract from this lifetime of accomplishing a point of attraction is what you've accomplished, what that point of attraction is. But it's really, 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 really current. It's really current. In other words, it isn't about where you were born or who you were born to or where you went to school or how much you learned. Well, it is about all of that. That's part of the culmination. But it's current in that how you're feeling right now is the largest part of what's coming, what's coming, what's coming, what's coming, what's coming. Who's coming? Who's coming? What aspects of them you notice? What aspects of them you rendezvous with? How you rendezvous with the world, how you rendezvous with your environment, how you rendezvous with the people close to you and those that you are just passing in the streets. Every part of what comes to you is because of this very current, how you feel now, culmination of that which is you. And it's a wonderful thing, that which is you. It's a wonderful thing. You have more control over it than most of you exercise because you have more control over how you feel, therefore how much allowing or resisting you've got going on. You have more control than you know, more control than you're recognizing, more control than you've practiced into being, than you will practice into being. In other words, a lot of it has happened by default. You didn't practice it, it just happened. You looked over there and had that reaction, and you looked over there and had that reaction, and you looked over there and had that reaction, and after a while you've had so many of those reactions that that's your bandwidth, and when you look over there, that's the kind of stuff you see. Even though there's other stuff over there, you don't see all of the stuff. You see the stuff that you have tuned yourself to. And the question that we want to start with today is, we know you didn't tune on purpose, most of it, but you might be now. Now you've caught wind of how powerful you are and how unique you are and how the law of attraction is, and your relationship with your inner being, which is really mostly what we talk about when we get together like this. You're beautiful in your bodies. You are magnificent. And you're an extension of this non-physical energy that remained non-physical where you were before you were born, even as you came into this environment. You said, I really want to go into the time and space of physical earth. The time and space because it will help me to focus, and I know that I am a creator, and focusing is about looking, it's about observing, it's about thinking, it's about deciding, it's about focusing. It will be about what I see and how I respond to it. It will be about what I say, but it will be known by me mostly by how I feel, because how I feel, you said this, you knew this, how I feel will be about my relationship with the larger part of me that remained non-physical, even though I focused into the leading edge of creation. Feel the importance and value and potential fun in that. So here you are, extensions of pure positive energy, and in every moment, you are some degree of allowing that wholeness or resisting that wholeness. We talk a lot when we get together like this about the path of least resistance. And what we mean by that is the path of the most that you allow yourself to be. In other words, you're pure positive energy, but you may not be knowing it right now. You may not be feeling invincible and powerful and full of love beyond description. You might be pinched off a bit from that based upon whatever you're focused upon. So you may be exercising some measure of resistance to, you could be allowing, but most are not unless you're asleep or meditating. Fully allowing, we mean. But you are usually some degree of allowing, which means you are some degree of resistance. So when we talk about the path of least resistance, we're really talking about the path of most allowance. But we want you to really get a feel of this, because the law of attraction is so powerful and is responding to you at all times. When you are in sync with the source of you, with the soul of you, with the God of you, with the whole of you, you are allowing beautiful you to be the receiver of all things that you have decided before this birth and since you got here that you prefer. Oh, that's allowing. So the better you feel, the more allowing you are. And of course, there are all kinds of degrees of feelings, aren't there? Just like there are all kinds of degrees of allowing. Now we're presenting this to you in a way you have never heard from us before. So hang in here. We know a lot of you are here for the first time. None of you are new to this material. Some of you are really old timers, and some of you could speak it as well as we do. And so we're going to offer you something here that will give you a new perspective about what you're doing with your powerful now. Now, what are you doing with your powerful now? And how you feel is your indication of what you're doing, but we want to explain it in a way that you have not heard before. It will make you more decisive about focusing yourself into a feeling, and it will make you more effective at focusing yourself into a feeling, and it will make you not only more productive and more efficient, but you will have more fun in the process of it. And those who watch you will not be able to figure out what's going on with you, because you will be mastering what you said you would do when you came into this body to this time and space. You will be using this time and space to focus yourself forward into the more that you promised yourself and that you were promised, because you are an eternal being. You don't get this done. And the reason you don't get it done is because you don't ever want it to be done, because you like the evolving of you. You like the becoming of you. You like an environment that draws forth from you new ideas and new clarity and new desires. And then most of all, you like being able to focus that away instead of in opposition to it. You did not come to be a sloppy thinker or a creator by default. You didn't come to listen to what others are speaking or the drums that are beating the loudest. And you did not come to protest, not for long. You knew that you would shout no, but you knew in the shouting of no that you would be the creator of the yes on that subject. You knew that when grief is the only thing in the room, that something else, the other end of that stick, would be there too. You knew that. You knew it, and that's why you came. You knew you would not get stuck in the knowing what you don't want. You knew that you needed to know what you don't want, because you came to focus. And how are you going to know what you want unless you know what you don't want? And how are you going to know what you don't want unless you know what you want? This is all focusing. This is all like light and dark to your camera lens. You need it all. And so every time you are in a bad feeling place where you are really mad at somebody or really upset about something, don't worry about it. Well, you're worried about it because you're feeling it. Doesn't feel good to betray your true self. It doesn't feel good. But sometimes you gotta do that in order to identify more clearly who your true, expanding, evolving, never-ending self is, you see. As you go forth into the world, don't try to explain this, because the odds are remote that anyone will be where you are. Just bask in where you are and let the universe deliver to you what matches where you are. Give yourself a day at least to be the conscious, aware recipient of some of what's in your vortex and connect the dots to the movement that happened within you as a result of this magnificent co-creative experience. And feel our appreciation. Even if you didn't sit in the hot seat, you're part of it, big part of it. In other words, this was co-creating at its best. And all that is feels love and appreciation for you and eagerness for what's coming next for you. There is great love here for you. And for now, we are complete.